INDYCAR Silly Season Tracker. Marcus Ericsson signs Andretti Global Extension. INDYCAR Silly Season Tracker. Marcus Ericsson signs Andretti Global Extension, some of the biggest names in INDYCAR, including a past champion and Indianapolis 500 winners, are on the move after the 2026 season. Six-time series champion and 2008 Indy 500 winner Scott Dixon and 2026 Indy 500 winner Felix Rosenqvist are headed to the same place, McLaren. The team announced on July 6 their hirings, and the release of Christian Lundgaard and Nolan Siegel, effective the end of the season. That has been the biggest news of the silly season so far, while the latest news came on Aug.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. High-quality protein to build muscle. The nutrition you need to power on.
Ready to order? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/10.
6. When Marcus Ericsson and Andretti Global agreed to a contract extension for 2027. That means Andretti Global will have the same lineup for 2027 as it has for 2026. That can't be said for many teams, including Rahul Letterman Lanigan Racing, which last month sold one of its charters to Dreyer and Reinbold Racing. It is the first charter sale since the system was implemented in 2025, and it means one driver in the RLL stable won't return as the organization cuts from 3 to 2 cars. Nolan Siegel, L., and Christian Lundgaard are on the hunt for new rides in 2027. Another silly season move that people will be talking about the entire offseason will be the one of Dixon leaving his home at Ganassi. Ganassi, in his statement July 2, thanked Dixon for driving for the team since 2002. Scott has meant so much to CGR over the past 24 years. Together we've shared championships, many victories, and countless moments that have helped define this organization. Because of everything we've accomplished together and the legacy Scott has built here, we believed it was important to give him the opportunity to finish his career at Chip Ganassi Racing, and we made him a multi-year offer to do just that. We respect that he's chosen a different path. For Dixon, he told me and other reporters on July 3 that it was an emotional decision, but time to move on to another team. In a statement on July 6, he said driving for McLaren would be special. As a New Zealander, being part of Bruce McLaren's legacy will be special. His spirit and grit are still very much rooted in that team, and I'm excited to carry that on, he said. McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown wants to win the Triple Crown of the Indianapolis 500, the Grand Prix of Monaco, and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. He hopes that having current driver Pato Award Plus for the Indy 500, former winner Ryan Hunter-Reay, along with Dixon and Rosenqvist gives him the best chance. Our INDYCAR team has shown fantastic momentum, and this lineup of Pato, Scott, Felix, and Ryan will strengthen every aspect of our program, Brown said in a July 6 statement. We've got our eyes firmly set on the championship, as well as winning the Indianapolis 500 to secure the Triple Crown in the Papaya era. McLaren has secured the services of 2026 Indy 500 winner Felix Rosenqvist. One driver not on the move is Marcus Armstrong, who announced July 3 that he will remain at Michael Shank Racing, driving the MSR No. I feel that Mayer Shank Racing gives me one of the strongest cars on the grid every weekend, Armstrong said in a July 3 news release. Our goals are aligned. We want to win races and be consistently fighting at the front. Here's a look at where INDYCAR organizations stand for 2027 by order of where their top driver is in the current standings after Nashville, with info collected from sources within the INDYCAR industry. Chip Ganassi Racing Series points leader Alex Palou, who signed a contract extension earlier this year, isn't going anywhere and Kiffin Simpson's progress. He's 15th in the standings, let alone the funding he brings should allow him to remain for another season. But obviously, the big news is Dixon leaving. Stars in all sports often leave their team, but to see Dixon, currently 11th in the standings, leave Ganassi after 24-plus seasons is wild. Lundgaard, being pushed out of McLaren, emerged as the definitive favorite at the time of the announcement, and nothing has changed in the last couple of weeks. Scott Dixon is leaving Chip Ganassi Racing. Team Penske's Scott McLaughlin, 8th in the standings, signed a contract extension last year, and David Malukas, 2nd, in the first year of a multi-year deal, so both appear solid. Joseph Newgarden is 6th in the standings, and while there was a lot of buzz last year that he possibly wanted to leave no matter his contract status, he appears more happy this year with 2 victories in the first 12 races. Andretti Global Marcus Ericsson, 9th in the standings, was the one driver who was on the hot seat at this organization. But he has performed well enough this year that Andretti Global rewarded him with a contract for 2027. Kyle Kirkwood, 3rd in points, isn't going anywhere. Will Power certainly hasn't had the results he wanted at 14th in the standings, but has also led in more than half the races this year, so he wouldn't be expected to get pushed out. Ericsson started the season likely looking over his shoulder at Dennis Hodger, 20th in the standings, and Andretti signed driver on loan to Dale Coyne Racing. But Hodger indicated he is looking for a ride for next season while not commenting specifically on his status with Andretti Global. One of our priorities has been building consistency across our INDYCAR program, and bringing Marcus back is an important part of that, Andretti Global President Jill Gregory said in a news release. He's shown exactly what he's capable of this season through the speed and results he's delivered. Keeping our driver lineup together next season allows us to build on the chemistry and performance we've established as a team. McLaren Christian Lundgaard, 4th in standings, and Nolan Siegel, 19th, are both out. Pato Award, 5th, is signed through next season, but has been vocal when cars haven't been up to standards. Ganassi is the most likely landing spot for Lundgaard in an essentially Dixon for Lundgaard swap. Siegel, meanwhile, could still have an affiliation with McLaren if the team opts for a technical partnership with Junko's Hollinger Racing, where Siegel potentially could move to for 2027 with the funding he brings. Siegel, with his funding, is a likely candidate for rides at Foyt, JHR and Dale Coyne Racing next season. Christian Lundgaard is out at McLaren. Mayer Shank Racing Rosenqvist, 7th in the standings, went from possibly being on the hot seat to having teams interested in him after winning the Indianapolis 500 and now is on the move. But Marcus Armstrong, 13th in the standings, is staying. Team co-owner Helio Castrone's confirmed on a Brazilian podcast that the team has talked to Brazilian rookie Caio Collet, who currently drives for Foyt. This team doesn't appear to be in a hurry to fill the open seat and could see how things play out at other places. Collet, Mick Schumacher, and VK are all names that are likely on their radar. Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing, with the announcement that RLL will scale back from 3 to 2 CAS, it is relatively assumed that Mick Schumacher, 24th in the standings, is out as Graham Rahal, 12th in the standings, and Louis Foster, 18th, have contracts for 2027. Junko's Hollinger Racing Rinus VK, 10th in the standings, could return, but he certainly is getting looks from other teams, as it appears nearly every team with an opening has interest in him. But whether he's top candidate for any of those is debatable, as he does not bring significant sponsorship. Stingray Robb, 25th, is on the hot seat. This could be the landing spot for Siegel, especially if the organization resumes having an alliance with McLaren. Mick Schumacher, or one of the Foyt drivers, if changes are made there, could possibly also land here. Rinus VK is on solid footing at Junko's Hollinger Racing, but could have his eyes on a move. ECR Alexander Rossi, 16th, and Christian Rasmussen, 22nd, will be back. Rasmussen announced a contract extension earlier this year, and Rossi appears to be the veteran anchor the team needed after Ed Carpenter retired from full-time racing. Rossi confirmed July 3 that he will be back next season and is not part of any silly season moves. Foyt Racing Santino Ferrucci, 17th, and rookie Caio Collet, 23rd, both have potential to run better. Whether they get another year to show, it remains to be seen. Sponsorship could be key to any of the decisions. Collet has been impressive despite his finishes, and that performance, along with some funding, makes him an attractive candidate for open spots. Callum Ilott, sidelined this year while under contract with Prema Racing, which is not competing this year, also is a potential candidate for a seat at Foyt. Dale Coyne Racing Dennis Hodger, 20th, appeared set move to Andretti Global at some point, but that is appearing more and more unlikely. Ramin Grosjean, 21st, has had some respectable runs for the organization, an organization that often doesn't determine drivers until the offseason. Hodger, the defending Indy NXT Series champion, potentially could generate some interest from other teams. Has Ramin Grosjean done enough to keep his seat at Dale Coyne Racing? Dreyer and Rienbold Racing. Now that Dreyer and Rienbold has purchased a charter for a full-time car next year, Connor Daly is the favorite to land the seat. Daly drove for the team in the Indianapolis 500 this past season. The job seekers, several drivers without full-time rides, are looking for them, and possibly could be players in Silly Season, with the already mentioned Daly and Ilott leading that list. Additionally, Devlin DeFrancesco is looking to return to the INDYCAR grid, and 2024 top rookie Felix Rosenqvist is still seeking an opportunity. Among Indy NXT drivers, Enzo Fittipaldi's recent surge is certainly opening some eyes, and the performances of Tymek Kucharczyk and Nikita Johnson also have made INDYCAR team owners notice. Josh Pearson also has funding for a potential INDYCAR ride.